A statement on behalf of the Edgar Lungu family from Joburg in South Africa. On Thursday, 5th June 2025, the 6th Republican President, Dr. Edgar Lungu, died here in South Africa. Following his death, the family has had several engagements with the government of the Republic of Zambia with two delegations. The first was led by Mr. Mlambo Haimbre, the Minister of Foreign Affairs, and the second by Mr. Enoch Kavindele, a former president who was deputized by Mr. Leslie Mbula, a former secretary to the cabinet. In the company of the said two was and is Mr. Patrick Kangwa, the current secretary to the cabinet. At the said meetings, it was made known that the family had already put in place all logistics to address the wishes of the deceased that his mortal remains be conveyed by the family privately and not the government of the Republic of Zambia, and that President Hakainde Hichilema should not be anywhere near the body of President Edgar Lungu for reasons that have since become common cause. The family is disturbed by the desire of the government of the Republic of Zambia to convey the mortal remains of the 6th Republican President in ways that suggest that they have no say, that is the family, that the family has no say in the manner the same will be conveyed and how they desire that he be mourned. In the conveyance of the remains, it is the desire of the family that the conscience of the deceased should not be betrayed and that the death of the 6th Republican President does not repose any superior rights to the government that exceed those of the family. In the said meetings, the government changed positions on proposals that they earlier said were agreeable after returning from purported consultations. The family finds it difficult to continue engaging with the government.
That the bereaved family might make a demand, it might put forward its wishes and requests. But I think this matter is a matter for all of us as a people, as Zambians, because the late former president was representing all of us. And of course now the person representing all of us in life is the current president. So as Zambians, of course, we'll look at it from that perspective. Much as we respect that the bereaved family will have its own views, now we also need to respect and appreciate, as Zambians as a whole, that we are also stakeholders. I'm sure all of us would want to have a befitting send-off for our former president, and that is what we must work towards achieving. And I think that would be the responsibility.
The whole country is in mourning. The party is in mourning. But we are here in South Africa to make sure that the correct things are done as we prepare to give him a dignified send-off. As you are aware, I think the background is that back home we have been dealing with very unfortunate circumstances that are never expected in a normal democracy. The former president for over 3 years was without justification stopped from traveling or indeed to attend to basic needs like basically medical checkups. He's been in South Africa being attended to by a specialist here for over 10 years. And going by the medical personnel that were attending to him after what would describe him sneaking out of the country basically to try and have his health attended to. He was told that had he come maybe 2 years earlier, the condition would have been better. And from 2015 all the way to 2021 until he left office, he was constantly being attended to. But from the time he left office, we may not have all the time to describe what he's been subjected to, but I think significantly is that he was never allowed to travel. He was under a travel ban, which was basically politically motivated without any law backing it or any conventional things that were being considered. He took advantage of a situation where there was a human rights or UN human rights rapporteur who was investigating human rights issues in Zambia, and obviously because the regime was afraid that if they stopped him from traveling, they would be exposed. That's how he found himself here. We have, proper facilities that could attend to any medical condition, but I think his condition required some extra, specialized, attention, which we may not currently have in Zambia. I mean, we have certain facilities in Zambia that South Africa may not have. And to that effect, we have some of our people, some of your people come to Zambia. It's a normal thing in a global world. So he was coming here because of a specific medical condition that was recommended could be attended by specialists here. And it's a normal thing. The issue that we're discussing is that the death of our former president could have been avoided had people been, professional, had people been patriotic and humane in dealing with each other regardless of the politics. Now we're preparing to repatriate his remains back to Zambia and prepare for the funeral procession until the last day of send-off. We have a foreign affairs minister, Mr. Aimbe, who has come, representing President Hakainde Hichilema, to try and offer courtesies in the process of repatriating his body, which is shocking, obviously, for the party, and is also shocking for the family, because for the past 3 years, 2 years and some months, President Edgar was stripped off of all his entitlements as a former head of state, which is very unfortunate. His security, whatever you can talk about. He came here just like an ordinary person, looking after himself. And his wishes, to those of us who were very close to him and interacted with him, was that if anything happened to me, I would rather be, treated the same way I've been treated while I'm alive. Allow me to be buried within, with close family members, and let, an ordinary process be undertaken. Unfortunately, our friends who are in government are coming with this pomp, and now the person they verified, they want to call him a statesman, they want to accord him all kinds of courtesies, we want to repatriate his remains, we want to buy his caskets and all these things, we want to be in charge of the funeral. And we're saying, are you doing this as an entitlement or gratuitously? Is it out of sympathy? If it's an entitlement, how is it that you are being selective? Why didn't you offer his entitlement when he was alive, and you want to offer this when he is normal? The family has expressed concern that the motivation towards all these courtesies is to try and use his funeral for political marriage on the part of those who are in government, and we're very uncomfortable, especially the extended family, which is the Patriotic Front, to which he was president. He is president of Patriotic Front. There was an attempt by UPND to try and create factions within the Patriotic Front, but he has been an advocate of unity within the opposition, and hence we formed an alliance called Tonse Alliance. And because the UPND, using institutions of government, had actually attempted to even transfer the leadership of the party to surrogates, and the ECZ, the Electoral Commission of Zambia, were instructed openly by the president that they cannot allow PF to feature candidates unless the signatures are not from Edgar, Lungu, all these nonsensical things that were happening. And therefore, within the alliance, we had to decide, do we have a special purpose vehicle, a political party we can use to still have the will of the people expressed through elections? That's how the new Congress Party was chosen, not that they had bought it, or indeed there was any deal. It was a choice of the collective within the alliance that let's feature in these by-elections through the new Congress Party. But he still remained, president of Patriotic Front. The surrogates or colleagues that were compromised, I think they came to their senses about 2-3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago, on the 1st of May. The leader of the so-called faction came and, to try and make amends, and I think in the interest of the party and the interest of the nation, we came together. So we can say that it's important that the region, which is SADC, and also the continent, begin to give an eagle's eye to what is happening in Zambia. Misaka Ndechema was highly, propelled, and some propaganda machinery put in place. And one of the bases, we're not alleging SABIC or anything like that, but one of the bases for which he presented himself and projected himself as a messiah in Zambia was basically here in South Africa. And we're saying the very machinery we had put in place to project him should be turned to go and examine his performance.